Good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. Let's take a look at the markets today. And is this dip going to be bought again? A dip bought indefinitely? Or do we have some volatility coming here as there may be some geopolitical problems we talked about yesterday? But one of the things that jumps out at me, first of all, kind of a quiet day. Markets on the quieter side, obviously, not really a ton going on. Spiders are just up about 1/3%. Same thing with the Qs. Dow up fractionally. The Russell is down, though. You are seeing semiconductors outperform a little bit here. And yeah, stocks up 2%, well, 20 basis points. SMH up 53, thanks to Broadcom and NVIDIA being up nicely. Also, Oracle, what a moonshot on earnings. There is a dealer wall here at 200, so this is a profit take zone here, at least until I would say, OPEX, which is next Friday. Microsoft also, this is probably going to 500, just to throw that out there. And again, this is, I talked about this last year, and this is something I got stopped out of earlier this year, which ended up being the right call because I got stopped out for like a 1% loss or something like that before the big dump. But the reason why I wanted to buy this is because this pattern, and everybody hated Microsoft. Remember, everybody hated Microsoft's not doing anything. This is a really tight. This is a tight monthly. I mean, even quarterly, just tightening range, right? And what leads to expansion, right? Tightening, right? Contraction. Similarly to like Apple, how that was a year or two ago. But yeah, Microsoft really pushing. That's why I wanted to be involved in that on the long side, because I knew that this was going to probably break bull. Beautiful retest there. I didn't jump back in. Obviously I bought the markets, so I didn't need to buy Microsoft, I guess. But nonetheless, that is outperforming. That's helping out cloud software. So you have a few things moving around here today. Decent pop. Cloud at 1.3. But my point is, market kind of on the quieter side. Overall, we do have a little bit of kind of an ascending triangle here intraday, so we could see a little bit of a bid. Maybe they can get us back to 60.50 on SPX at the end of the day. I'm not really sure. I think last I checked, there was still, I talked about it in the short video this morning. I think I talked about that 60.40 area. Oh, look at that. They flipped it. So we might be able to go to 60.50 now. So that was red all day at 60.50. So that was a negative dealer position there. And it took us all day to get through that. And now we're trying to get through now. Who knows if the last 40 minutes holds, they could come in and dip this thing and it could go right back. But nonetheless, the big picture here is, I just want to notice this, and I've noticed this for 3 days here. Really, if you're in the trading room, you know what I'm talking about. And by the way, again, sale on absolutely priceless stuff here. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, $60 off your first month. It's basically giving it away here. But in any case, we talked about this first thing in the morning on Monday. I said, notice VVIX. It is really, it shouldn't be up that much. And it was Monday, and you can see here the spiders were up too. And we had a pretty good, here's the Monday move. We held up pretty well Monday. Monday was actually almost a trend day. But VVIX is up, and I noticed that again. They're charging a lot of premium here to hedge, is basically what I'm trying to say. And even with the market starting to float up here, look at, this is the short end of the curve. VIXy, that right there, that's the short end of the VIX curve. So up 1.47 right there. And if we look at like the Q contract, only up 0.5%. So we're seeing some short-term volatility being priced in, which is strange, right? There's a reason for that. The reason why that is strange is because, it's like pre-OPEX week here. Like there's no... vol should be pretty dampened, and it should be suppressed. And so we're seeing that bid. You can see here, like on an intraday basis, we go flip back to SPX. You have that kind of that bull pattern there. If we look at the VIX, it's got kind of a similar like hourly bull flag. So it is holding up here with the markets. Another thing I notice, again, oil here, it did dip, but it came right back. Same thing with gas and gold. Gold up nicely today, and this isn't just PPI either. I mean, this is, PPI came out, it was cooler, but I mean, it was up before that, and it's been going up all day. So I think there's something to this Middle East stuff, and if I was a betting man, I would say Israel attacks pretty soon, and maybe over the weekend. So I just see how market makers are charging more for protection here, and it does seem like they're ready for it. Now maybe they don't, and then it's a nothing burger, and then vol just gets absolutely decimated, which is totally possible as well, and we just go to all-time highs. But I think that right now it's worth maybe a little toe in the water and volatility here over the weekend. That said, again, I'm not expecting anything to really pop off here. Again, vol should be pretty well dampened. I can't stress how well dealers are supplied right now, especially going into next Wednesday. But what's also next Wednesday is FOMC and obviously the contract roll. So we could see volatility open up there if there's any problems around that period. So just like I said, toe in the water type thing. Definitely not shorting. And just making sure that you're protecting gains on the way up. That's what we've been doing, and it's been working out pretty well. So really, that's it. Spiders here holding up well. Looks like they're trying to get through that 60-40. And VIX is it's holding up here. We'll see if they fade it into the end of the close. That level should be pretty stiff though, for now. Another thing too, we talked about this yesterday, is that I'm just going to use. Well, I'll use SPX. Like this is the first time I've seen bears defend anything like in a while, right? So we broke down right here, and then they actually defended it for once. Now we're above it now, of course, but it's just the market does look like it's a little tired here. That's all. So really right now position is still very long, but I think there's it's at least finally worth it to take a vol hedge. And if we do get volatility, even if it is outside of expiration and the Fed next week, I still don't see us dropping that far. But right now, we'll see what we get, I guess. Tomorrow we got Michigan at 10 a.m. Is that going to move the market? Probably not. But we could see some. I mean, look, you can tell. Like, I'm not making this stuff up. Like, just look at how this. I mean, look at these cells here. They're just they're just no follow through. So when I say dealers are supplied, I'm not kidding. So market holding up. Qs here are fractionally higher, just like everything else right now. Russell is weak though, and that's a change, right? So the Russell is led for the last week or so, and I talked about this last Thursday. I said if anything breaks out, it's going to be the Russell on non-farm payroll, and it did. Lasted 3 days. Now it's pulling back off of our resistance level. And again, it's not broken, but it's red. It's the only index that's red right now. So it has turned into a little bit of a laggard. Diamond here up 49 cents, building a base above that resistance. That looks pretty all right now. We mentioned SMH up 0.5%, holding up well. SOX, right into 230. That's got a base to go higher. That has to base in order to go higher, if you ask me. IGV up 1.25, very nice move again. Oracle and Microsoft powerhouse. Palantir powerhouse. I was saying this in the trading room earlier. I was like, I can't believe you guys have been following me for a year or more. You guys know I'd said sell chips and buy software back in June. I don't know why I didn't just buy some of this and Netflix. That was my other big call last year. Just buy it and just lock it in a box and throw away the key, because that would have been a really good trade. But yeah, cloud is strong here. It's acting very well. Transports here came off the lows today. Nothing terrible there. Rates again got a little bit of a pullback in the 2-year, so the 2-year bond note up today, obviously, and then the long end also backing off. So 10-year. Oh, interesting, right? We got lower highs is the most likely scenario now for the first time in a while. And 30-year, little local double bottom. It's still perfectly intact on the long, the bigger picture, but definitely backing off a little bit here. So that does help the market out a little bit in terms of rate cut odds. We're not going to see one next week, but it does help in the bigger picture. I'm sure the Trump crash out tweet is going to be hilarious next Wednesday when they don't cut. But yeah, XHP up 22 cents, but still having trouble with that 97 handle. And then VNQ trying to base above support here too. We got XLF flat on the day. This has been in a volatility's coming in this. All right, let me just check. I'm just going to see the B. Yeah, volatility is definitely coming in this. So last time the bands were this tight was right before Feb March. And the time before that was right, like not long before the election. Yeah, there's definitely volatility coming in banks here. So just be aware of that. KRE, KBE backing off today, but again, off the lows here. Broker dealers are flat. Still holding up well. Oil again down 3 cents, but it filled out a lot of yesterday's move. It gapped up, but then it to come back flat. That's actually I'm gonna say that's bullish because you just retested that. You just retested this secondary pump here. I almost said euphoria. It's not really euphoria, but you know what I mean. The breakout, you filled that liquidity out, and then you bounced back. So oil's still okay here. And again, yeah, if we get something over the weekend, this is probably going to gap up again. So oil still in good shape. Gasoline, same kind of deal. XLE up 7 cents. It's like XLE is like somebody in the trading room said XLE is like the Russell 2000. It is. It's like it. I don't even know what to say. They can't catch a bid, no matter like how good the fundamentals are, no matter how good the macro is. It doesn't matter. It just can't. Like that's all you get. XOP 29 cents. OIH. Oh, you're not even green. Like you can't even be green. It's just unbelievable. But yeah. Anyway, nat gas here up 2 cents. Nothing going on that front. Dollar index down, obviously. New 52-week lows, thanks to the PPI. This is probably a divergent bottom here. I'm guessing. Yeah, it's totally divergent. So just be aware of that. Sellers might not follow through. So just throwing that out there. Dollar yen also down on the day, but again, it's very important to understand that why things are down. It's not down because of risk off. It's down because of the PPI data. Gold up 1.9. This is also a bit of a red flag for me here. And then silver here up 27 basis points. Platinum new highs up 2%. Again, that can go to 13 now. Palladium was down, but depending on pattern here, if the 20 MA catches up, this might go higher again. So that's still fine. Copper's still fine too. That's trying to digest as well. So nothing really wrong on any of those fronts. Bitcoin was down quite a bit today. It did bounce back pretty nicely though. It actually bounced back pretty nicely, I gotta say. Because it opened lower. This is 9:30. Yeah, as soon as the New York Open hit, it pretty much came back all day. So nice comeback there for Bitcoin. Our trend line's back on. Yeah, it looks fine. So as long as it holds this breakup bar low, you can just digest this and bull flag here. If it loses that, then it's back into consolidation. But right now, hanging in there. And yeah, I don't really see any issues. I know. I noticed Coinbase. A lot of traders in my room like this one. This pattern is actually pretty interesting here too. I actually like this too. Assume we can hold that breakup bar low, but 240 is your local support. So some of these charts look all right. MSTR is still hanging in there. But anyway, yeah, so it looks like we're stuck at 60.40 right now. 30 minutes till close. So we have a member stream at 4 o'clock, so I won't be able to take you all the way to the close today, but it's kind of a slow day anyway. We'll see what happens. Again, that volatility, it just jumps out at me. It always jumps out at me, especially when I see VVIX leading for 3 days in a row. And the fact that the markets came back with really all ends of the VIX curve kind of just holding up and kind of basically flagging really on like the hourly and even like the 4-hour, starting to build a little bit of a base there. So we'll see if that ends up being nothing. Might be nothing. It might be something. So, but anyways, guys, all right, I'll wrap it up here again. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.